You guys.
Hi, Sharon.
Sharon's been a guest of mine for a long time, and today she's evolved from when I first met her. She was a double process blonde, and then she became different kinds of reds, and then she went dark brown, and now she's this color. But what she really wants to be now is like a really dark sort of chocolate brown, and I want to just make sure that it doesn't get too flat. So I'm going to use a level 3 and a level 5. And this is going to be one of my classic techniques that I use for brunettes, blondes, and redheads. It's one of my favorite things. If you ever come and visit me in the salon, I'll try to pull you in and show you this on a real guest. It works really, really well. I'm going to use the level 3 base everywhere. So we'll do about the first ½ inch of regrowth. And it's going to be a BG RV. So it's going to be a blue-green RV. So that's going to be my chocolate brown. And it's going to be heavy on BG, lighter on RV. That makes kind of sense. So it's sort of a cooled down RV.
What's her base?
Well, it's going to be a 3.
I mean, her natural?
Well, we don't really have any natural. So we don't really have any natural. So I'm going to say that right now she's probably like at a level 6. On some of it, and maybe a level 4 on some of it. So, but we won't be lifting, we're only going to be really depositing. We're only really going backwards. We're going to do a 3 and a 5. And then I'm going to foil back to back really quickly, the 3 and the 5 back and forth, boom, boom, to give the variation in color. And that's the trick that I want to show you is the real quick base, and then that variation of foiling back and forth between a light and a dark. And they have to be, to make it work well, at least 2 levels apart. And they could be further apart than 2 levels, but today we're going to do a 3 and a 5. With this in the same tone. So the tonality is going to be similar. It's just going to be, you'll just see a little variation of light. And when you look at her, hopefully you won't even really see, your guess won't be that she had foiled hair. I like that. I like to look at things and not know exactly how it was done. But you'll see that there's something more going on than an all over hair color. Okay. I want the base to be too perfect on these, you know, not too, I want it on all the hair, but I don't want it exactly 1/4 or exactly a ½ inch. I want it to have a little more variation than that. And then I start in the front with about a 1-inch section. And I'm going to go dark first. Remember, my base was the darkest color. Well, 2 levels away, it should look, you know, I always like to think of color as going from dark to light, warm to cool, you know, like it's moving from one thing to another. So it always looks better in hair color to go from dark at the base to light on the ends, right? So I just have built that into this hair color. So 2 levels apart, that's almost like a fade, could happen just from the sun, and you can certainly get faded 2 levels. And it's not going to look like that intentional. You'll sort of see. I mean, I wouldn't probably, this would be a little harder to do like as a 1 and a 7. Right, that's too far apart, but just 2 apart, 3 apart can even be fine. And I don't mind it looking a little, and I don't mind things looking a little heavy at the base, a little rootier. And we all know what that looks like, and you either like it or you don't. And it depends on the haircut, and it depends on the color, it depends on the tone, it depends if it's a blonde, a brunette, or a redhead. But really, rooty looks can look really good, especially if they're done just right. Well, you overlap them, so that's called melting. So where I'm combining the one with the other. I'm not trying to make a perfect little line up and then matching it with a perfect little line. I mean, if you do that, you're going to run into something ugly. I mean, where the 2 come together, something ugly will happen. And this, if you put them together where you're a little more casual about it and you melt the 2 together like this, then something nice usually happens. Usually. I mean, you have to think about it just a little bit, but really what you're looking for is the 2 to come together in a melted sort of nice way where you can't really see exactly what it is. That's a really good question. again, just like with Heather, I'm kind of neurotic about when I'm putting in color on. I want to make sure that it's really nicely saturated. So I'm not. I know that you guys are kind of taught not to comb hair, right, with color on it. But when hair has already got a lot of color on it, and then I start to put liquid on it, and if it starts to have that kind of hair, it starts to stick to itself. You have to really think, what do I need to do to make sure every hair is colored with color? I mean, whatever you have to do, you have to do. So. But it's really critical. My single processes are always at least 2. Sometimes 3. But I don't do the same color all over. There isn't. There really isn't. And when people try to tell me what to do, I just tell them, I am going to make your hair look good. And that's my job. So, I mean, they can use whatever words they want. Oh, I wanted this or I wanted that. But my job is a little My job is to make their hair look good, and it's my eye to look good. I mean, it's my aesthetic, right? I mean, I can't have their aesthetic. I can only have my aesthetic. So the first step in being a good hairdresser is having an aesthetic. You have to develop what you think looks good. And like these 3, like we're all working up here. We have all a very different aesthetic. And some of you will attach your eye to one person, and some of you will attach yours to another. And that's great. But the most important thing is that you have an opinion and you decide what you like. And to develop that, to develop an artistic aesthetic takes time. And it takes intention. You have to decide that's what I want to do. I want to really know when I look at something that I love that. And then I'm going to develop that part of me so that I can accomplish that. Because knowing it's one thing and being able to accomplish it is quite another.
Well, and people always ask, how do I get clients that have this really cool hair, whatever you decide to do is? And the answer is by being really, really good at that. So when you get that, because you get a sort of a smattering of everybody. And when you get that one client that you can really show off what you think is the coolest, you have to be really, really good at it so that they send in all their people. So you get more and more and more.
My favorite thing to say to new people that I do is, I love doing your hair. I love doing your hair. And I bet you have friends that are just like you. Do you have friends that are just like you? I mean, think about your friends. Do you have ones that are like you? They actually even look a little like you, right? Like, it's weird how we attract these people in our lives. Well, but guess what? They do too. They have people just like them. So that's the ultimate compliment. I like you. I really like you. I love doing your hair. I'd like to do all of your friends because I bet you have friends that are just like you. So have you just said something really nice to make someone feel good? Absolutely. And then you get what you want. That's how you get to work on the kind of guests that you want to work on.